my body count doesn't reflect on how I should be treated.
Yeah,
That's true.
I agree.
Okay, so you're saying your body count don't reflect on how you should be treated, but the question is, does your body count reflect on if you deserve a good man?
Exactly. So no,
Okay, so it doesn't.
it shouldn't.
It shouldn't. But you think,
in this generation it does.
oh, you think it does. Okay, but it shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
And why do you think it shouldn't?
Because when did I get when did all of the body count happen? Is it because you think that I have a high body count that I'm not worthy of being in a good relationship?
Well,
That's kind of what it feels like the question is kind of gearing towards, is that if you have a high body count, you don't deserve a good man.
I mean, leave it to a man though. A high body count could be over 2. Like,
True.
Yeah.
And they had 10.
like
200.
Men is
So here's what I'll say. You said that you don't think that a woman's body count should reflect on her being treated good by men, deserving a good man. Now, the thing is this. Body count, it affects the woman more than the man.
how?
The reason why it affects the woman more than the man is because statistics shows that when a woman reaches a body count between 5 or 6, the probability for her to maintain a long-term relationship drops down to 20%. And there's also many other stats on body count when it comes to women as well. So how it affects the woman is because you're more likely to be unsatisfied with your future partners. Because when you experience men, you start to compare and contrast dick sizes, finances, charisma, masculinity. You subconsciously compare and contrast with each man that you're with. So when that happens, when the number gets too high, then when you get, depending on the man that you're with, well, it's a high probability that you're not going to be satisfied. That's what happens. So, and not only that, it damaged a woman. Even scientific shows that the more guys that skeet in you, well, that stays with you for many years, almost forever. They can even find the cells of a man, that semen of the man that was in you in your brain. Sometimes they can find it in your body. With that being said, that's one thing that's a scientific fact, that they can find that in you. So that means that it matters.
It does.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
For real?
Y'all don't want to hear it.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
We do want to hear it.
I'm like, because I'm listening to that, and that's like kind of new for I never heard that. So I'm like, did that happen to gay boys too? And she like, yeah. I'm like, wait, what?
I mean,
Man, yeah, that's a whole nother topic. We don't know nothing about that.
You didn't want to hear it.
We don't know.
wanna go there.
We don't know nothing about that. I think if it's that way, maybe the parasites and stuff that's in the feces probably kills it. Who knows? I don't know. So probably discharges of it, but I don't know. Who? That's disgusting.
I don't like the way you said that.
Who knows?
You wouldn't know that.
It's a disgusting thing.
It really is.
It's an abomination.
Yes.
And anyways, as I was stating, so with what I just said, what's your response to that, Earl?
From what I remember, what I thought is just it has to do with some men's ego. Women comparing.
But the thing is, men would never know the actual number. Now we can get, depending on how you behave and your character, we can know like, she probably is a little high body count, but we would never know the actual number. Only you know, right? So with that being said, we're not even including the man. My statement is that the woman's body count matters to the woman more than it does to the man, because it affects you more, because you can't lock down anyone. You feel unsatisfied a lot. It's hard to satisfy you. You become an unruly individual.
All because you'd be too busy
told you
comparing the past man to the current man you have.
Exactly.
I don't
So
know.
so what
You
he
have to be a
so what
woman
he's
to
saying
know
is, if a
that.
woman has 100 bodies and she finds one guy that wants to marry her, she will never be satisfied with that guy that wants to marry her, because she'll be thinking about all the other guys she had in the past, or maybe
That's not
I don't
true.
think
maybe
that's
this guy,
So-
maybe this guy had better sex, or this guy had more money, or this guy was more taller, or this guy was more muscular, or it could be whatever. But compared to a woman who's a virgin and who married
But
You know
wouldn't
what I'm
they be
saying?
more
Like,
curious about what's out there than
No.
what someone else has?
How can you be more curious about something you never had?
Easy.
But that same thing goes for men, I feel
Social
like.
media.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
Yeah, no. So that's a
If a
that
wo-
isn't true. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ease.
If a woman only had sex with one dude and that's her husband, she's not gonna wonder what sex is like with another dude. Compared to if a woman has sex with 100 guys and she's married now, she's gonna constantly compare her now husband to the past dude she had in the past because one was either better, his was bigger.
You have
all
issues
cases.
if you're doing that, I feel.
I'm just talking in general. No, women are doing that. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
like,
so
why-
so it'll be harder to satisfy her. It would be easier to satisfy a woman who's a virgin who never had sex with me, Cooley, Sean, Michael, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Just like a
I
man,
don't think that's
forget
true.
If
Because I don't
hey,
compare
if I move
people
on, I move
to other
on.
people.
Subconsciously, you do.
Subconsciously?
Yeah, you
You've
do. And,
never been a
and
woman
actually,
to
if we're
say
being
that.
honest, even no, you don't got to be a woman.
Yes, you do.
No, because men, we do it too. We're not speaking about the man yet. So let's just
I'm just
make the
saying.
conversation be concise here, real
We could be
quick.
satisfied after 100 men.
We'll
with
get
one
to
man.
men in a second, and it is a difference between men and women, but it doesn't mean that men don't feel effects of having sex with multiple women. We do feel effects too, but it's long-term effects. For women, it's you get the effects take a while. Like for a man to feel like real effects of having sex with a whole lot of women, he would have to have a very high body count. But for a woman, she just has to experience just a few men, and it's like those effects would come up. So what I'm
it's
saying
more
here on a
emotional.
part where you said that, you said, well, if she's a virgin, she never experienced a man, so she's more likely to have fear of missing out, FOMO. So she'll want to experience men. That's incorrect. Like E said, well, if you never experienced,
better.
you can't miss something that you never experienced.
That's like looking at a steak and being like, I love New York strips.
You've never experienced it. You can't miss it. That's the thing. So let's make it make sense.
But now you're-
No,
you're
listen,
saying
lady,
we're
stop
not
it. Listen to
missing
me.
it.
No, listen to
You could be
me.
attracted to it.
No, listen to me. Listen to me. Fear of missing out. You said that a virgin that never has sex with a man, she can have fear of missing out.
Or curiosity.
No, she can have fear of missing out. Curiosity is much different than fear of missing something. So
Curiosity.
think about it, right?
agree.
So you can be curious about something. You can experience, you can have some curiosity and stuff like that. But what's more potent? Missing something? You've had it before. You know exactly what it's like.
But you
That's
gotta be
more potent.
curious to
Well, let
feel
me
like you're
finish.
missing out.
No.
You do got to be curious first to feel like you're missing out.
You said you do have to be curious to feel like you're missing out.
Absolutely. I got to like it first and then say, dang, I wish I had that.
Again.
That don't even make sense of what you just said.
How
Think
not?
about what you just said. You said you have to be curious first to find out if you're missing out,
Right.
right? So think about this. We're speaking about fear of missing out. How can you miss something that you never had? You can only
Because
be
you're curious.
No, listen, you can only be curious of it. Listen, you can only be curious of it first. What I'm saying that the next step, what's more potent is if you've already had something.
Right. But you're saying missing
Stop it.
and
Listen.
missing out.
Nope. You
That's
not.
two different
Nope.
things.
Nope.
Missing
Wrong.
something that means you're missing something that happens. Missing out means you're missing something that you probably never experienced, but you feel like you need to.
No, you're
because
moving the
everybody
goalpost.
else
We're not
for it.
speaking. You're moving away from the topic, right?
Stop being.
Yeah.
Okay.
You moved it away from the topic of the part that we're speaking about. So here's what me and her are speaking about. She said that a virgin that never had sex with a man, she would have fear of missing out. I asked and then E said, well, how can you miss something that you never had?
Because you never had it.
Because you never had it. So you can't miss it. So
Why can't you?
That doesn't make any
wait,
sense.
well, how can you?
Listen, look,
You've
look,
never
listen.
had it. How can you miss it?
If you've never drunk lemonade, how can you miss
How can you
drinking
miss it? You can be
lemonade if you
curious
never had
for
it?
I could smell the lemons from here.
Bro,
Delicious.
you can be curious about
Like,
it. You can maybe want it, but you won't miss it.
Because you never had
You've
it.
never
You can't
had
miss
it.
something you never had.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Missing
can't-
it and missing out are two different
But
things.
yeah, you moved
We
the
know
goalpost.
that.
We
You
know
know
that.
that.
But you're saying,
That's
how
why I
can
said that
miss
you
something
moved it to
if I
another
feel like
statement.
being so I missed out, meaning maybe I didn't experience and I feel like I wanted to and I missed out on the
Okay,
opportunity.
look, let me put it in simple terms. Let's say
Missing it means I had it and I
let me put it in
missed
simple terms for you, because
It are
you're
simple
all
terms.
wrong. If
I'm not
you
wrong.
if you let's say you have an Android phone, right?
Mhm.
And you never had an iPhone.
Right.
But it's,
Can you miss having an iPhone if you never had it?
Yeah, because
You
I
can
wish I had
curious of it.
Yeah.
I wish I had an iPhone.
He sound close.
Like, what do you mean? Everybody else got
man.
one and I'm the only one with an Android. I'm missing out on the experience of an iPhone. What do you
You
mean?
really,
Right.
even if
Correct,
you,
right?
no,
the
listen.
fear of missing out
It's the
on
fear of missing
Listen, stop
out
it,
on
stop
something
it.
I never had.
No,
That is
listen.
very possible. It's a thing.
It's still, I'm missing out on something that I never had. I'm saying, well, what's more potent?
What's more potent?
We're comparing a virgin that had sex with no men or a chick that has sex with many men. What's going to be more potent? What's
The virgin.
what is not going to be more
She's
potent?
not missing out on nothing because what's the miss if she had it?
Listen, no. Here's what we're comparing.
You go to the
we're
next new
comparing. No. Listen, we're comparing missing out to missed. Missing out to missed.
That's what I just said. You didn't hear me?
The chick that experienced many men, she's more likely to miss those men. That's more potent.
What? I had him. They
The
in the
chick-
past. What's next?
Never mind. We gotta move on. The
Thank you.
chick that didn't have any men, she just missed out. That's not as potent as. So you had past relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the past relationships that you had, do you have someone that's like the best sexually?
The one I married, yes.
The one you married, he's the best sexually.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's in jail. So these other guys that you're having sex with, they're not measuring up to this guy.
I didn't say that. They might be equal.
You just said that he's the best you ever had. So now they're equal?
They could be equal. Yeah.
So which one is it? Is the man in the prison the best you ever had, or is another guy equal to your man?
Well, he's the prototype, so he's the original. So
You're even proving my point even further.
how?
So because he gave it to you first. He laid it down first. So no one can really match up. Even if they come close, it's like, well, Big Daddy done did it first. You just the after Big Daddy. You feel what I'm saying?
But
so
that
you
don't mean
even
you
know.
can't
Stop
do
it.
it like he
Stop
can
it.
do
Baby.
it.
You're proving the point that you are stigmatized because
stigmatized. I am the least stigmatized.
okay. Well, the point that I'm just making here, which you keep speaking in circles and also moving the goalposts, is that
You're just giving an opinion from your own.
no, it's not. You're
That is-
proving it. You're proving it actually right here, and I'll explain to you
To
how. No, I'll explain to you how you're proving it. Right. So you have a man that's currently locked up,
Yes.
and you just submitted that he is the best man you've ever had. Right. So then, if that is true. Now, be honest. Is there a man that's better sexually?
Yeah,
Okay, there is a man that's better.
possibly.
So then he's not the best. Okay, never mind. We're going to move on. She just speaking in circles.
I just wish to move on.
Shorty just lying now. You just lie.
No, I said possibly.
You're being
I didn't give you an
disingenuous.
answer.
No, you're being disingenuous. We're
No,
trying to have
I'm
an honest conversation. So
All right, so I will say he's the best I've ever had. Of course, I can't have him because he's away. So the best next thing is the best next thing.
oh, got
You know what
it.
I'm saying?
Trust me. I know that
We
he's.
keep it moving around here.
Got
We're not
it,
going
got it,
back
got
to
it.
the past.
I can already
It's
tell
always
from.
something better.
Stop it. I can already
is.
tell from the way you first answered it. You said that the first answer is always usually the true answer. You said that he's the best you've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
So he is the best you ever had sexually. This means that any other guys, right, that you meet, who are you comparing those other guys to?
None, because they all different. Why
You're
would I
not-
compare them?
You're not comparing those other guys to the men in prison that's been busting it down?
They're not the same men. Why would I compare them?
Sexually.
Sexually, no, because they
You're
all
not-
do different things.
They all do different
They
things.
do
and you're
things
not.
different than he does.
Okay, so if you're not comparing, then how can he be the best?
Because I like what he does. the
God
best.
dang, you're just contradicting yourself.
How?
That's a lie. You're lying. You just
How is
lie.
that lying?
How can someone be how can you we all have a measuring system. Everyone measure things, right? You just measured, right, that he is the best. Out of the men that you've experienced in your past, out of the men that you're currently experiencing, you granted him, you put him as the highest
You
measurement.
didn't ask me why though.
Stop it. You put him as the highest measurement. But you are now contradicting that and saying that, oh, I don't compare and contrast. If you don't compare and contrast, how is he the best?
What do you mean if I don't compare him?
Never mind, bro. I should move on, right, Romer?
He's a
yeah.
guy?
I'm
yeah,
picking
we
up
should.
what you're putting down.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. We just
I'm
chat
picking
is
it up,
probably
too.
pissed
I
off
just want
too.
him to move on.
No, you're not picking it up. You lost. So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.